Lesson 13, more standard deviation. Our aim today is let's continue to interpret standard deviation. 13.1, Math Talk Outlier Math. Evaluate mentally. So you have 4 different expressions, and I'd like you to try to evaluate each mentally. That means in your head, not using a calculator. Of course, you know I do not grade these for accuracy, but rather your effort. So just putting stuff into a calculator is not going to help your grade here. This is a skill that we are going to use a lot more in lesson 14, but I guess they put it in the do now for 13. All right, so I'll give these 4 a shot. Okay, so I'm going to show a few strategies that I use for evaluating these mentally. All right, so the first thing, this is 0.5 times 30, really just saying half of 30, and I just know half of 30 is 15. How do I know that? You know, when thinking about like increments of 15 minutes, that's something that we think about a lot in terms of time, half an hour. Yeah, other things you could think of is like multiplying. So I'm going to ignore the decimal for right now and just say 5 times 30. And I know 5 times 30 is 150. And then that decimal point just comes after the first place. If I have one place that's a decimal, I take away the last place. It's a rule of multiplication. That's 15 as well. That's another way to think of it. Now we've got 1.5 times 30. So I know 1.5 is triple 0.5. So I'm just going to triple my original answer. 3 times 15, which is 45. Another way you could think of it is you could just add them together. You know that you're going to have to add this 3 times. Obviously, that's the same thing as multiplication. But maybe you added it. Maybe you didn't multiply it. 15 plus 15 plus 15, 3/4 of an hour. That's 45 minutes. So that's equal to 45. All right. Now we've got 100 minus 1.5 times 30. So I've got my product right here that's really just equal to 45. So it's going to be 100 minus 45. I always think about, you know, what 2 numbers add up to 100, because I want to find the number that adds to 100 with 45. And 45 is 5 away from 50, and I know 50 plus 50 is equal to 100. So I have to add a little bit more than 50 if I have 45 here. So 55 and 45 are going to sum to equal 100. All right, now I've got 1.5 times 18. Okay, so now I have to sort of start from the beginning like we did here. I'm going to think of it as half times 18 first. And I know half of 18 is just 9. But I've got 1.5, so I want to triple whatever half of 18 is. So 3 times 9 is equal to 27. So now we've got 100 minus 27. I know 27 is pretty close to 30, and 30 and 70 add to 100. So if I'm taking 27 away, I need a little bit more than 70, so that'll be 73. Would complement 27 to give a sum of 100. All right, so this is a quick little do now. You'll see why we're doing this in lesson 14.